find out. Okay. Great. Bye. And
we are live with Watch Art Sci. I'm Clive, the Watch Wrangler, joining
here it is. Okay, got it now. Okay, there it is. All right, yeah, it's working fine now. Hi, Blue Shirt. Matthias. Oh, good. I see everybody now. I can. This is working out great now. Okay. Hello. Clyde and I are here today, and what we want to do is that we both went out and we found two deals. One deal is with a new watch. What would be the best deal on a new watch or condition zero, and also we found one that was pre-owned. And so what we want to do is talk about those today and see what you think. Okay, so let's get started. Clyde, you want to go first, or you want me to go first?
Well, I can go and go first. I'll have to pull up the links. I didn't have the links up and ready, so give me 1 second. No, stupid, blasted. See, it's wanting. Oh, the whole thing about auto fill in. The stupid computer is trying to figure it out what I want and not listening to me.
Okay, I tell you what. You want to dig it up, and I'll start.
Okay, no, I'm just about there, okay?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so I will then go into screen sharing.
Oh, cool, you got it.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
And what I was looking at, I'm taking a play. I'm taking a play out of your playbook, Bill. And okay. I was looking into the Thomas Nincritz Cathedral watch. Now, this is on watchbuys.com. And I was looking at, of course, Thomas Nincritz, Watch Buys is the authorized dealer for Thomas Nincritz. And you kind of really got me thinking about that one. I mean, I do like the old school look of it. I like the fact that it has a unitas movement and the sub-seconds at 6. Brigade yes. Blued hands, and look.
That is what I like about it, is that movement. The movement, yes. See how the movement fits the whole watch. You don't get, when you see a little bitty movement like that in a watch, it usually means they've got one movement fits all. And so they have a little small one for their smallest watches, even their ladies' watches. And they put them in a watch without really thinking about the relationship between the watch and the movement. Let me show you this. I got one that'll illustrate that as well.
Now there's one. Now, however, there's one that I really want this one, but every time I look, they're sold out. So it's kind of like that's also a Thomas Nincritz, but it's their Flieger watch.
Oh yeah. Yes. That was one that yes, that is a very nice one. The one I like to have is a regulator.
Yes. Now I like, of course, this is actually probably their most budget-oriented one. That's not why I wanted it. I like it because of the contrast, and because it also makes me think of other watches that I have at the same time. I mean, similar ones. Now,
yes.
Now I also have a couple. I also have a couple of ones with a similar layout that are actually DH watches.
DH, which
yes,
are
Deutsch here, Actually,
Okay.
these are ones actually. It's kind of, you know how we went over the A11 that was
Yes.
US.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
this is the other side. This is the
Okay.
one for the Third Reich.
Right. For the Luftwaffe.
Well, no, actually, here means army. Deutsch,
Oh. Oh.
Deutsch,
Okay. I
here.
thought that. Right. Vermont.
Well, the Wehrmacht is, I think, is more like armed forces, like the big umbrella. And for the other one, which I'm really looking at, and this is not a condition 0. Oh, I'm also sorry. This is the one I've got my eye on right now.
Oh yes, the Pershing. The Pershing is their sports watch. That's a very nice watch.
And so far, it's, actually for this model. I mean, like I said,
Holy cow, that price is. That thing was $21,000, and it's listed for 4,000 and something.
Yep.
Wow, that is good. Is it? It's and it's pre-owned, right?
Pre-owned, yes.
Okay.
But it's
Yeah.
Now, however, that said, I'm screwed because I just shared this on the internet. So,
Do you know where it's from?
CB Luxury is the seller.
Do you know what country they're in?
United States.
Oh, okay. Here's why I ask. Sometimes when I see numbers like something 61, they simply converted it from the euro price, and that was how come I asked. But wow, yes, I agree. That's a very nice one, and
However, it's an eBay auction. It's an eBay auction that ends in an hour, so that might go up. That might double, but within the next hour and 42 minutes.
okay, okay.
And that's why I was thinking. That's why I was thinking about it, just to pay homage to my host.
An homage to your health.
Host.
Thank you. Okay, well, let me start in really a similar place. And this was I ran into by dumb luck.
Okay.
There is, and again, and unfortunately, what I did is that I made copies and everything and got them ready to present, and I put them on my other computer. So I'm going to have to rely on description, and I'm sorry about that.
That's right.
All right, the one that I picked that I found new is one that I saw. There's a program called Watches TV. Are you familiar with that?
The vaguely European guy.
Yes, exactly. He's it's something Andre. I think he's.
I believe he somewhat talks like this.
Yeah.
The watches that we are looking at today.
And he's got these really cool glasses,
yes,
frames on them. Okay. Well, he had one. He was there was a thing I ran into. I was watching, and it was his he was sort of a state of the collection. Okay, so we had the state of the collection. I was looking at the things, and this was one of his favorite watches, and it's called a Tonda 1950, and it's a Parmigiani Fluier Tonda 1950. It's got a cream-colored dial with white hands, and it's got a big small seconds at 6 o'clock, and it's gorgeous, and it's white gold. But the thing that got me about it, it's brand new. It's $6,270. Now this is a brand new Parmigiani watch, unused, and it had been, I don't know what it was before. But anyway, I found it on Chrono 24. It's on Chrono 24, and the seller is in Taiwan. And so anyway, it was one I thought, man, oh man, it is a great, great deal. And So you can go there, go to Chrono 24, go to Parmigiani, and look up Tonda 1950, and you'll see this watch. It's absolutely gorgeous, and it's like a Calatrava or a Patrimony or one of those really just clean as a whistle, beautiful watches. Great for everything from the executive suite to a formal date night. I mean, it's a fantastic watch. Anyway, I was surprised, first of all, to find one brand new like that, and second of all, for that price. So anyway, that would be my recommendation for my watch of the week for a brand new one. Now,
by the way, last night on Watchbox, you had Josh Thanos, who, as we all know, is totally a werewolf. I mean, seriously, look at him. He's a werewolf. And
okay.
George, we're having this or that, where they put up two watches and asking the audience, I mean, they're basically pleading their cases and having the audience vote on which one they would rather have. Mm-hmm. And it was a Panerai reference versus the Parmigiani Tonda as well. And the Tonda smoked the Panerai like a cheap cigar, which is something I wasn't expecting. Literally, it was like I think 85% of the people, even though the Tonda, the asking price was even like $2,000 more than the Panerai. I'm surprised that it won by that large of a margin. And considering two different watches with two different price points, but both vaguely Italian sounding. So I guess that was the unifying theory, or the
probably, yeah. Michel Parmigiani is Swiss, and but anyway, I don't know if you hear the garage door opening. That is my wife going off to church. So that's got okay. We can have some fun now.
It's Saturday.
Well,
you mean temple, synagogue?
Yeah, it's funny. My wife is extremely religious, and I have no idea why she ever married somebody like me, because I'm not. Anyway, it's one of those go figure things. Maybe I was a project. Who knows? Okay. Now, my other one is.
Does her religion is she Catholic? Maybe she believes if she suffers on earth long enough, she'll be guaranteed heaven.
Let's not talk about religion. Okay.
All right.
Okay. There's a separation of church and watch on this channel. Somebody had sent in some kind of thing talking about that, and that's what I said. So it stays with this. Now, gotcha. This is how I found this watch. This watch is the Maurice Lacroix, and I had talked about it before, and I took it up to a friend of mine who's a watchmaker, who is also a judge on the Grand Prix d'Horlogerie, and I showed it to him because I bought it and I searched for it based on the movement. Now, the movement there's two different names of the movement. One is Jockey 736, and the RGM 121 uses this movement, and he calls it RGM-Jockey 736. Okay.
Now RGM, that's like, what is an exceptional horology? That is way up there in the stratosphere, even beyond, if I'm thinking right?
No, I would say it's a good solid high horology. Okay. But and it will actually it's peeking into that. Now, RGM is Roland Murphy, who lives in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and he is really the only American watchmaker that I know who is making high quality watches. He's made one of his own movements too. So check it out, rgm.com. You can find it. But anyway, let me get back to this. On a Facebook page, I saw this. I didn't see the watch. I saw the movement, and it was this RGM 121. And so and it mentioned Jaquet 736. And I thought, wow, that's an interesting looking movement. Now, the reason that it's an interesting looking movement, the movement fits this fits the case, which is a big deal with me. And so especially when you see a tonneau or rectangular shaped case, and
Right.
the movement has the same one. Okay, so what I did is that I looked for the watch on the basis of the case, and what I found was unexpected. First of all, if you go out and you do a search for Jaquet, Jaque 736, you'll come in. The first watch you're going to run into is the RGM. But what happened, as you may or may not know, Jaquet had to go to jail because his company, Jaquet SA, was doing, he was doing some stuff with a guy from Ulysse Nardin and another guy, and stealing some gold cases from Minerva and making phony Rolexes. Okay, so Jaquet 736 became La Joux Perrère. So I started searching La Joux, JOUX -PERRET 736. And I came up with there were a whole number of other watches using this movement. One was a bomb in Mercier. I think there's this called the Hamilton, but you can find the watches if you look for the movement, and you'll see these watches come up. Dunhill is another. Dunhill are very rare, and then there's another one that they have a lot of these, and it's something at Fils, FILS, but you can find the movement in there too. So what the deal is that here you can find a relatively rare movement, okay, in watches that aren't crazy expensive. And it's got, a lot of story behind it. Like the one that Murphy has, he only had 10, and he's already sold 6 of them, so he's got 4 left. So on the RGM 121, and those are fairly expensive. They're like $7,900 a piece. But what you can do, you can find these in other brands for a lot less. And so it's one way to get a really good watch for a little money. Okay, so that's my recommendation for a pre-owned watch and a new one. Now, okay, I can see everybody's comments now. Maybe what we ought to do, Clyde, is take some comments and answer some questions. What do you say?
Sure, absolutely.
Okay, it says Clyde looks bored. Listen,
Clyde's tired. Clyde is tired. I had an interesting evening. I'm not going to go into detail about it because we're going to stay out of YouTube politics, but God almighty. Anyway.
All right. Well, no,
yeah.
This is also a G-rated YouTube, so we can't go into Clyde's evenings.
No. It's not that sort of thing. No.
Rats. Okay. So what would you, Hisham? Yeah, we knew you were kidding. Just giving you a hard time. Okay, Daniel's about to win. Oh, okay. Wow.
Barmeister, what do you guys think about the Maurice-Lacroix Aikon, AIKON, with the steel bracelet, or is it too much of a Royal Oak ripoff?
I don't know. Let me see. I don't see that question.
I do. Well, obviously, I'm reading it.
Okay. If you look at the one that won last year, it was a Bugatti, and the Bugatti has a similar kind of hexagon dial that they have. The Bugatti won the men's division, and yet that was because the dial wasn't a ripoff of Royal Oak. What it was it was Gerald Genta had developed that dial for Bugatti. So what you may be looking at is really a ripoff of Bugatti, but Bugatti designed both the Royal Oak as well as the Bugatti. So maybe it could win.
Well, and if you've ever seen the Brady Bunch movie where they reimagine it like in the late 90s, to me, the Gerald Genta, he's done a lot of iconic watches, but they all seem to have certain similarities to each other. And how this relates to the Brady Bunch movie is Mike Brady was having problems as an architect because everyone knows that he designed the Brady's house, but every other design he came up with in his architectural firm was a variation of the house. For instance, it showed a failed design for a gas station, which was gas pumps in front of his house. And I'm kind of wondering if that has something to do with it. And I've got the Acon collection on Maurice Lacroix. And I could definitely see how Royal Oak offshore, slab case. Do you see what I'm pulling up on the screen now?
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, no. Here's the thing to pull up. I'll screw everything up and the lights will go out if I try it. So I need a little more practice. I'll put it that way. The place to go though is go to the gphg.org. Go to the Grand Prix place because now they have the entries for the 2018. And you can see all of those watches there. This would just put up Daniel Fernandez. Yeah, Daniel Fernandez just had one. He said that the Parmigiani, he thinks that Parmigiani is going to win again. They may. Now another one I'm rooting for is Beauvais, my Beauvais, and they have some interesting watches too. But man, the competition this year, as I look at those, and they're so great. But here's one I think would be really interesting to most collectors, especially younger collectors. Like,
no, would that be the Parmigiani?
Like Clyde.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Oh no, that one. What that one is? That has the I forgot the name of it, but it's a certification that they have in Fleurier that's about twice as exacting as the Geneva one. So yeah, maybe that's what. Oh, the Parmigiani calendar. I tell you, the perpetual calendar that I like is the H. Moser. Very, very clean one. But let me go back what I was talking about, and this is really amazing. Under the challenge, if you go to the challenge category, and these are watches under $4,000. This is a new category. You'll find one there called the Gorilla. Now the Gorilla is just a few years old. That brand is just a few years old, but it has a Vasseur movement in it. I couldn't believe it. There's a Vasseur movement, and it costs under $3,000. And I thought, what? So
is it?
Man, I tell you, I think that's it. The Gorilla. I hadn't even heard of it before, and so here they come along. They're just a couple years old, but man, I tell you, that's got a Vasseur, and I couldn't believe it. Vasseur movements are expensive, and I think unless they got some kind of deal on it that I don't know about, but man, that I was impressed by that. There's some other ones that I really like. There's a Mont Blanc, a beautiful Mont Blanc for under for. What else did I? Now in the Petite Aiguille, there's one that's called the Doppel Felix, and these are between 4,000 and 10,000. The Petite Aiguille. The Doppel Felix is my Felix, but it's got a Rattrapant put into it, and it's gotta tell you that is a that's a fantastic watch, and it's like, well, it's under 10,000. It's 8 something. It's not,
No.
it's getting
So
up there for
which
harboring.
Hovering 2? Okay, thanks. I was going to say I'm trying to get to it, but you keep skipping ahead.
There it is, right there. Yeah, you have
Yes,
it right
that's
there. Look at that. And I love the name Doppel Felix. Does that sound like double helix?
yes.
I thought that was cool. Yeah, that is a cool watch. So, I mean, there are all kinds of neat watches there too. The other thing I like about it, now this is one thing that they've never had before, and I hope they never have again. They have put some smartwatches. They've allowed smartwatches in the sports, petite aiguille, and the challenge categories. And I think, what are they thinking? what do they do that for? Anyway, I hope they, if
That's
they
just
want to have smartwatches, you blow. Smartwatches are fine, and if they're going to have them, have a separate smartwatch category, because here you're dealing on another planet. The mechanical watches are mechanical watches. I think they ought to have no quartz, no smartwatches, or have a separate category for them. Yeah, Daniel. Yeah, F.P. Jorn is not nominated because he's part of the jury. What F.P. Jorn said a couple of years ago, they said that the people at the Grand Prix didn't want him to put in any more watches because every time he did, he won. So I was, oh snap! I thought that was funny. I think the same thing happened early on with Vasseron Constantin and Patek Philippe. They were winning so many that they said, "Oh, would you guys hold off a little on that?" So they did. But the last couple of years, Vasseron has had one, and they've got a nice one in this year too.
Mechanical smartwatch needs connectivity among wearables.
It would be nice if Bill paused long enough to see the pictures Clyde was pulling up. Okay, we'll do that, Bob. Go ahead, pull up a picture.
Yeah. Well, okay. So yeah, I was trying. That's what I was trying to. But I was just looking at the X1 mechanical smartwatch and trying to figure what that is about. It's apparently some sort of a combination between the two. Huh. Okay, so you want to go into the actually, while we're here, do you just want to go into the challenge category?
Challenge category. Yeah, I tell you too, you guys who are watching this, if you can, I mean, if your screen's big enough, is to pull up the Grand Prix, because you can see them a lot clearer there. And I'm hard to shut up for a while, but I'll try.
iPod, L and JR, Leventure, Longines, Mette Tissot.
No, there's a Maurice Lacroix that they have in the challenge group.
Yeah, the Acorn Automatic, the one that he asked, do you think it's too similar to the Royal Oak?
Doesn't look much like it to me. The dial doesn't. Maybe it's another one that they've entered.
Possibly.
There's a Mont Blanc I like. Oh, they also have a Nomos too, which is, I love Nomoses.
You mean these two?
Yes.
Is this the card that you were thinking of? I'm sorry.
That's the Mont Blanc, and that's a Nomos that I really like.
I do, yeah. Nice designs. Mont Blanc almost looks more of like a military style.
Which one?
The Mont Blanc.
It does. It looks like a pilot's watch with that great big crown.
Yep.
Yeah, that's I really, and these are all under 4,000. These are all part of the challenge category. That's what's so cool about it. I mean, I'm really glad to see that they're having a lot more affordable watches in the Grand Prix.
Yeah, I see what you mean about the hovering, though. Oh my God, Do you see this one?
Yes.
Okay. Longines is nice. Maurice Lacroix. Ooh, look at the dial work on this one.
Mm-hmm. Also, the Ming, I think, is interesting. I think that there are more Chinese entries this year, which I think is very interesting. That was my prediction a couple of years ago, is that companies like Seiko and Citizen, some of the Japanese companies, they're going to really get a run for their money because the Chinese are starting to do some interesting things.
All right, ladies, men's. Bulgari. Huh. The Mosier and C is
Oh yeah, that one I love. That is I hope that wins something too. That's a neat watch. Very creative.
The Maurice Lacroix and the MB&F seem almost cut out of a similar cloth.
That Maurice Lacroix next to it is good too. They have so many good watches this year. That MB&F, that is another great one.
Tudor, Black Bay 58. Kind of looks like a plain. Kind of looks like a oh, look at the triple calendar. And it's complication. Now, I was actually talking to someone this morning, and good God, what the hell is this thing? Perpetual calendar altered then. Now, do you have any triple calendars or annual calendars or perpetual calendars?
Who, me? No, I want an annual calendar. That's also on my list. And I like that that Parmigiani Fleurier annual calendar is awfully nice looking. Now, of course, the thing is that, imagine a vulture, okay? The thing about vultures, they've got to be the ugliest birds in the world, but they have this magnificent wingspan, and they just soar. Well, I'm the vulture, and I'm waiting for that Parmigiani, whoop, go down, drop in price, and I'll swoop on it. Anyhow,
what's the smallest size acceptable watch? The smallest acceptable size of a watch that you'd wear?
The smallest size?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I've got a pretty little Patek Philippe. I think it's like 32.5 or something like that. But in terms of feeling comfortable, like this is the biggest one I have. This is 42 millimeter, and the smallest that I'd feel comfortable in is more like 36, maybe even 34. And so, it depends.
This is got to be a great example of an original rivet bracelet in condition I've never seen before.
Oh yeah.
It's a semi bubble back oyster perpetual with an Explorer dial on it in 34, which is similar to the one worn by worn on to the top of Everest, and was it 53?
Okay. I'm sorry. I was looking at Eddie Landsberg's question. What are some of the cheapest high horology pieces pre-owned? What do you think they are?
Boy. Well, the thing is, the Parmigiani, the Kalpa, they keep wandering into my target range. I'm like, ooh, dang.
Yeah.
The Kalpa, I see the Kalpas going anywhere from 35 to 45 all day long.
Okay. Um, in going back to the question that they have, I think the best buys you can get for true high horology, beside Parmigiani, Jaeger-LeCoultre have wonderful watches. I think that Glashütte Original has some that are really, really very nice that you can get at a lower price.
Mhm.
And the thing to do though is if you're patient and you know what to look for and you know what's going to go down, bam, you can get them. Um, and you can get great watches that way.
Yeah, in
The
other words, the vulture approach. The
Here is
vulture,
one of the
the vulture
the
has to
vultures.
patiently fly around and wait for the animal to drop. Then they move down.
Right, exactly. But the vulture has to know what's edible. that's
Exactly.
that's
Yes.
part of it. You don't want to eat a skunk. This one was probably the best deal in the world I ever got, and this is H. Moser. Um, oh God, what's the name of it? H. Moser Henry double hairspring.
Mhm.
Because I found out I got this for I forgot what it was. It was around 7 or 8. But the thing of it is that they they decided they're only going to make a few from now on because it was so hard to make them. And so now they're only going to make like 20 a year, and they're going to put them in the Swiss Alpine or Swiss Alps, I think is the name of the model that they have, and they're going to charge $32,000 for them. So that's like okay,
Woohoo!
and
Woo-woo!
well, it's but the thing is, it's not a popular watch. Is that the idea that if you ask what's popular, you're never going to find a good deal ever that I can think of. Rather, you have to ask what's a good watch, or what's a good movement, or what's something like that, which is to me more fun.
Now, Ali B is asking: is in fact is the Prince of Wales Charles? Isn't Parmigiani one of his favorite watches?
It could be. I don't know. Um, I hate to say this. Okay, let me say a couple things. All right, what do they know about watches? What does the Prince of Wales know about watches? Okay, now if Prince Charles' favorite watch is a Parmigiani, I'd say he knows a lot. So, but I'm prejudiced.
Actually, my roommate in undergrad actually met him.
Oh, really?
Yes. He walked in with fake press credentials and walked up with it and interviewed him. He met him at the Pittsburgh airport, and we were like, "Oh, you are so full of." No, I'm not going to say who it is because the guy's a retired colonel in the Air Force, but he totally pulled this off, and we were completely calling him on it, and actually he clicked the play button, and it was his voice, and along with Prince Charles answering the questions. We're like, hopefully,
hey, I ran into Prince Charles's brother, Prince Henry,
Andrew?
when I was at Cambridge, right? And I was riding my bicycle home. I was at the Institute of Criminology as a visiting scholar there, and here's this guy dancing on the roof of a cab. he and a gal in a evening gown. Well, apparently Prince Henry was into theater, and they were advertising their theater. Now, he wasn't dancing on the roof. He was dressed as this London cabbie, and they had a London cab that they were dancing on. But I think what your friend did is fantastic. One of the things is that when I had my Rolls Royce, I belonged to the Rolls Royce Club, and all of these people who belonged to me were telling stories like the one you had. They should drive up in this big old car, and people let you get away with anything. Anyway, that's another story. Let's get back on watches. Okay. Okay, you're wrong, Bill. I got the best deal from a pimp. Well, I tell you, I don't know any pimps, Eon. So I'm glad you got a good deal from a pimp.
Well, and sometimes I do stumble across occasionally good deals. here locally, here in the flyover states. So, I happen to, my favorite watchmaker, literally less than a mile. I mean, Watchsmith, less than a mile from the house, was telling me about a piece he just got in that the decedent's daughter-in-law, and it was a Omega Speedmaster 321 pre-moon watch. It's one of the last references that actually went to the moon. And you know, I managed to get my hands on it back in April for $5,000, and those things are going insane now. So
yeah, that's, I would imagine. Say, listen, I was only supposed to do this till 4:30, and so I'm over again. So I'm gonna have to sign off. And if you want, we can do this every week. Okay? If
sure, we could also alternate as well. That way, we can do it on my channel occasionally. That way, you can just be in a guest and relax and let someone else do the moderating. No, okay. And also, I think you have a watch review coming up tomorrow morning, correct?
Right. Yeah. I just, that's my Sunday watch review. And also we have a watch of the week too.
Nice. So anyway, so if you're, hopefully you're subscribed to Watch Art Sci like I am, and watch Bill's, quit being so modest. The red and the, well, actually the red and the black beret really go well together. So you can go ahead and blush. But the, hopefully you're subscribed to Watch Art Sci like I am, and I do watch Bill's. I was going to say I watch your videos religiously, but you said to keep religion out of it.
Right.
Okay.
that's part of it.
I watch his videos scientifically.
There you go. Okay. Well, listen, guys. So I hope to see you tomorrow morning with the Sunday show, and hope to see you guys then. And also, Clyde, let's do this on a regular basis. I'll come to your channel, and you can come to mine. Okay.
Likewise, and we can skip.
Hey,
we can skip the drama.
Yeah,
skipping the drama is good.
Yes, it is. Who is the guy that you know, Rudy? It was that the guy who's
this might start getting drama-y if we'll talk about that off air.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll see everybody then. Off we go.